Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Wednesday. This is The Woo Report, episode 155. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Primetime Radio Network. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, as this podcast is globally watched all over the face of the earth. I'm your host, Sam Woo. Today's title is Reset Button on Devils Season starts today. Let's see the major improvements that we are promised by Devils GM Tom Fitzgerald as the Devils start their season in Buffalo, the reset button, and start the season back up in Buffalo, playing the Buffalo Sabres, who sports the same record as the New Jersey Devils, 10-15-5. Could the Devils make a comeback? Could they make a surge? Or am I not allowed to say that word, surge? Hello, Omar Ba. I haven't seen you in a while. Chiming in on the Facebook Live. Happy Devils Wednesday to Mike Rossi. Always seems to be on top of his game. What, quote unquote, improvements, he says, Mike Rossi. LOL. I don't know. Apparently, rest and getting your teammates back from the COVID protocol. And yeah, apparently that works, even though they were losing pretty badly even before all that. But okay, all right. Let's be fair. Okay, here's your chance to shine, Fitzy. As Corbin writes, and this is kind of harsh, Corbin writes in the Facebook Live, Fitz needs to realize that this isn't a video game. Can't reset the record we have. Oh, do you remember the days of the Nintendo Entertainment System where you're playing Legend of Zelda and I don't know, you get so mad, you hit the reset button and you realize all that work you did to get through all those levels to get to Ganon is all erased? No. Corbin, you're absolutely right. You can't erase the past, but you can rewrite the future. But how do the Devils do when they've really done nothing during this time period? But then again, let's be fair to Tom Fitzgerald here. Let's be fair and say, okay, you hit the reset button. Maybe time off did a lot to clear up the player's mindset mentally. We talk about mental health. We talk about it's being a mental game, a physical game, but a mental game, the sport of hockey. Maybe that's what the players just needed, was a little time off to get away and hit the reset button. And maybe that was a little bit of a proactive, preemptive strike by Tom Fitzgerald by asking the league to postpone that game against Pittsburgh, because for all intents and purposes, 6 regulation losses in a row for the New Jersey Devils. The Pittsburgh Penguins at that time period had 7-game winning streak. Hey, let's stop the bleeding. Let's massage the rules a little bit. This request. And maybe it'll work. I don't know. I will say, though, as a Devils fan, we haven't experienced losing in over a week. It's kind of nice, even though there's no games going on. Hard to do content. Believe me, when you do these podcasts every day, when you're blogging on Hockey Buzz and pucksandpitchforks.com, who, by the way, Nick Villano is doing an outstanding job, and Vinny Parisi. If you haven't gone there yet in the past week, go to pucksandpitchforks.com to get all your Devils needs, your Devils, I don't know, content. Because I'll tell you what, it's tough. It's tough when there's no hockey to write about hockey. And for all intents and purposes, I know he's my friend, colleague, but I think Nick Villano does a heck of a job at pucksandpitchforks.com. Anyway, Suka Madik, YouTube Live says, thank God Devils hockey is back. Thank goodness. Because I miss my boy Scotty at Devils After Dark. Vinny, Game Day Live. Vinny and I, Vinny Parisi, also at pucksandpitchforks.com. We did our grievances here on the Woo Report during our little break. Vinny's going to be all rejuvenated, refreshed. I don't know. Maybe I hit the reset button. Maybe I should hit the reset button and take 9 days off doing this podcast. And maybe I'll come back with better information. Seriously, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. I'm not going to be any better taking a day off than doing just, a podcast each day. Frank the Tank, contestant, one of the 3 finalists of the Devils PA announcer thing. I don't know what you call it. I was about to say sweepstakes, but it's not a contest. It's for a job. He says, Devils win tonight. Start it up. And you know what? And Corbin, I don't know what he's talking about. Rehab, but yeah. You're already priceless, Sam, says Omar. I don't know what he's talking about. You guys are just a bunch of chatterboxes in the Facebook Live. But as the Devils hit the reset button, I'm hitting the reset button myself. Maybe I should be less negative about the team and David Blitzer and just being patient. Hence, notice that the Be Patient t-shirt's slightly covered. Maybe the Devils did turn around, and I'm just going to start covering up my anguish. But I left the Mickey Mouse, mascot head or costume head right there. Just, I know those that are listening in on the podcast, you can't really see it, but on the live video feed, I just want to keep everybody accountable here. What we've been seeing in the past 6 weeks of your New Jersey Devils. We head into 2022 in the same boat, same situation that we had in the last 8 years, minus 1 year, where there was a miraculous MVP Hart Trophy type season by Taylor Hall and Keith Kincaid standing on his head to will the Devils into the playoffs. We got to see 2 games, 1 win at Prudential Center, but we're just desperate to make the playoffs. We're desperate to start winning and winning again. And as the team struggles, sometimes we just don't see the end in sight. I don't know. Where's the Andre Johnson jersey, says Suka Medik. Yeah, if you want, I can go get it. I'll be right back if you want. Be right back. I forgot I left it in the garage somewhere since the last time we were at Taj Lounge 973. But anyway, getting back to the game at hand, playing Buffalo. Look, you got another, developing team. Let's be nice here since we're hitting the reset button. We have a developing team in the Buffalo Sabres. Tons of great prospects, especially Owen Power, who's doing very well at the World Juniors right now. And this should be a winnable game. This should be a game that the Devils can claim victory, but it is not a game where everything is all hunky-dory. You've got a team that had been losing and losing royally with only one win in December of 2021, mind you. One win. And it was against the Flyers, who was slumping even after their coaching change. But Mike Yeo of the Philadelphia Flyers needed some time, and he got that team straightened out, it seems and appears, since being hired. And right now, my bet is on that Lindy Ruff better turn it around in the next 2 months. Otherwise, he will be on that hot seat, will get hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. But maybe not. The way Tom Fitzgerald was talking before the pause, the extended Christmas break, was the players playing for the guy right next to you, the guy in front of you. It's all up to you, boys. Go out there and get a win. Get one for yourselves. Because we're just going to sit back here and say, we provided everything, you haven't done anything yet. He didn't say that in those exact words, but not trying to read into it too much. But let's put it this way. I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not going to make any predictions here because we've seen this script before. They'll win a couple games here and there. Our hopes are high. And then, boom, it comes crashing down as the vicious cycle of hope and then the despair comes in. I predict that they will have a winning streak sometime in January, and that's when they're going to email blast season ticket holders. Hey, come back for the 2022-23 season for some exciting hockey. We've got some young talent. We just signed Jack Hughes this year. 8 years, $8 million per year. Nico is back. We've got a young core nucleus. Just trust us. Trust us already. We've heard it before. But will the script change? And I would say this is last chance for Lindy Ruff. I would keep Lindy Ruff for the rest of the season. Why? Because there's so much uncertainty with this whole COVID thing. I don't think it's fair to any coach coming in that they would have to deal with it. I know that people can make the argument, well, Vancouver did. The Flyers did. Let's see, even the Florida Panthers did, even though their situation was a little different. Maybe so. But right now, in the development of the New Jersey Devils, I would at least like to see some semblance of consistency, because even though I don't think anybody deserves their jobs right now, including the players, the GM, and everybody, even though I like them and the coaches, you need to get results. That's really what it boils down to. Spare me the details how great things are going to be. Spare me the details of the rosy picture of why I should spend my hard-earned money to go to a Devils game right now, then be subjected to city rules and regulations. I'm not getting into politics here, but the facts are the facts. When you go to a Devils game, no fault to the Devils their own, they are just enforcing what's the rules on the books, the laws on the books, the mandates on the books, that I got to wear a mask no matter what, and I got to show a Vax card while I'm at it at a later date as they're phasing this in. And then I got to go and buy expensive beer at Prudential Center just to drown my sorrows. And maybe, just maybe, I'll buy a lot of beers drowning my sorrows, because there's a lot of sorrows to be drowning in. And then I'll be allowed to take off my mask as long as I'm drinking or eating something. I'm not saying anything other than this is what fans are experiencing. Corbin's trying to get on my good side. He says, I vote Sam for next GM. You would make this team a winner again because you're a true fan. Thank you, Corbin. I'll tell you the first thing I do as GM of the New Jersey Devils. First off, I would have a press conference and I would first and foremost apologize to the fans for all the crap that we've made them go through. That's number one. Number two, as I hit the reset button for real, I would say before I change anything on the product on the ice, I will say to you that we will do our best to bring a winner, a Stanley Cup to New Jersey, and that's all we're thinking about. The entire organization down. If I was GM, that's what I would say. Apologize to the fans. And then I would say actions speak louder than words. My apology is sincere. Number three, I would lower the beer prices. I would go to Jake Reynolds. You better lower those beer prices now, because fans are more holly jolly when they're all liquored up watching the team win or lose. You can't go wrong. It's just like planning a wedding. Okay, it's just like planning the wedding. If you have the funds, top shelf, open bar all night from cocktail hour to the end of the night. It doesn't matter how bad your wedding is. Everybody has a good time. And that's what it's all about. So as GM of the Devils, and make me president as well, Corbin, that's what I would do. Lower the beer prices. Lower the alcohol. Lower the food. Oh, family plans, okay? Let's not punish people and families for having a lot of kids. I say the more kids, the merrier. If you buy a 6-pack, 8-pack, if you're a family of 11, you get major discounts for every ticket you buy above 2 seats together. How about them apples? Suddenly you got a big crowd. Suddenly you have holly jolly people. As you are building the team to be a Stanley Cup contender, then they will enjoy the process. Not trust the process, because the trust has been broken a long time ago, okay, about this rebuild. The trust has been broken. Let's just make that a fact now. How about enjoy the process? That sounds more positive. That sounds more realistic. As the beer prices are falling, the ticket prices are falling, the experience is going up. And then we can also throw those marketing shenanigans at them. And I would limit all those marketing shenanigans based on wins and losses. Consistent wins and losses. If we're losing, we're not going to insult your intelligence. We'll just say we suck. Be real to the fans. If I was GM of the team, I would also put an emphasis on the human element of the scouting. Tired of I read another article today in The Athletic, and this is not being critical of the author at all, but I read how bad something about the Devils special teams. I don't want to use the exact words. Where the Devils are faulting defensively. And it was a beautifully written article, but the bottom line is I could have just written a tweet that says improve the NFZ. You can show me all the graphs you want, but we know that the Devils have problems in front of the slot area. How about you clear it out instead of, I see all these statistics, but there's no solution to these statistics other than pointing out problems. All right. So if I was GM of the team and I'm going to hit the reset button, I would tell my scouting, I want tough, overachieving players on the roster. I want players, the right players, who may not fit the bill, the skill, the speed, whatever, but they have a mindset that is like a rock, that they cannot be deterred by the opponent's offense and the opponent's intimidation. Because that kind of mindset is what the Devils really need during this reset. It just showed during this losing streaks, and we've seen this before, that they get really down on themselves. I like Frank's suggestion. The team needs to get a bit nastier. Hey, there's nothing wrong with being nasty. Okay? There's nothing wrong about tough love. Oftentimes, I'm very critical of the team and management here. Not because I just want to be a jerk. No, because we both want to win. And there are different approaches to it. And I like Frank's approach. We got to get nasty. Corbin says, sounding like a true GM already. Yeah. Why? Is it because I'm lowering beer prices? Lower the hot dog. You know what? How about dollar hot dog night? But how about dollar beer night? Now that will sell out. That will sell out. Then you get Budweiser or whoever to sponsor it. You just, you know what? In the business world, this is kind of a lead loss. Yeah, just start. You know what? But you got to be a little careful because I know some of you fans get too carried away with your drinking, and we got to do this safely too. Beer Baron, Shorts Guide, to name a few. But yeah, so if I was GM, that's how I would do it. I would apologize to the fans. I would say, I want you to enjoy the process. I will lower the prices across the board. I will make it more competitive against Madison Square Garden and that new place, what is it, the UBS Arena, and take the Atlanta Falcons route and say, we're going to be family friendly and we're going to put our money where our mouth is. And you can't go wrong with that. Now, all you analytics people, all you accountants, you're going to say, oh, Sam, woo, the GM, we're going to lose a lot of money. But you're going to lose a lot of fans if you don't start winning in the next couple of years. And I'm talking generational because you're up against almost 10 years of pathetic on-ice product. And there are other teams less than 50 miles away that children could gravitate to, or the casual fan that had relocated in the area that's trying to pick up the game, the wonderful sport. You got to plant the seeds now. And you have to have a family-friendly atmosphere to do that. And you have to be inclusive to everybody. To me, that's what hitting a reset button is on the season or on the organization called the New Jersey Devils. If I was GM, I would, again, start putting more emphasis on the draft, but getting free agents like Dougie Hamilton. There are character players that can mentor the young players and make them all-stars. Be everyday leaders on the ice. You're only as good as the players that you have on the ice. It doesn't matter if Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier are on the same team. If they're not out on the ice, the best players are the ones that you have to put out there. That means it's a team concept. That means you have to put together a team that can roll 4 lines, roll 3 pairings on D, and have a goaltender that is going to go above and beyond to bail them out when trouble happens. That's how you build a hockey team, folks. None of these numbers, they don't mean anything. It's just like accountants. And I don't want to offend any accountants there, but essentially you're bean counters. It doesn't tell me anything. It can tell me that the company's in trouble, but it doesn't tell me how to get the company out of trouble, if you want to use a business analogy. So what the Devils need, they need more scoring. Well, no kidding. Oh, they need to play better defensively. No kidding. Well, you know what? You better start having fun in the fun zone, no fun zone of the other team, and you better have no fun zone on your side of the ice. And how do you do that? It's positioning. It is grit. It's being physical. It's being willing to pay the price. Blocking shots on defense. And also willing to pay the price and getting crushed in front of the other team's goalie when you're trying to screen him from seeing the puck. These little things add up. We've seen glimpses of it. I like the fact that Mikey McLeod is leading the league in faceoffs. As far as I know, I haven't checked in about 3 weeks. But we need everybody to be doing that. We just can't just rely on individual efforts on this team. So if the Devils are going to hit the reset button, they're going to need to have everyone show up and play their game. Play their game. Play their game. And do what they do best. And they must contribute, whether it's on the stat sheet or not. Corbin writes, I'm starting to question Blackwood's capabilities of being a number one goalie. We're in big trouble. Biggest trouble between the pipes, in my opinion. Yeah, well, that's another issue as well. We could get into that on another Woo report. But I figured for your afternoon drive, all you Jerseyans, it's a quadruple header Wednesday here on the Let's Go Devils podcast. Woo report can be dropped in about 10, 20 minutes for your afternoon commute. Game Day Live, 6 p.m. Eastern. Vinny Parisi and I will preview the game tonight. Buffalo Sabres in Buffalo. Devils hockey is back, as far as we know. 5 p.m., just remember, Lindy Ruff has his conference with pretty much the Devils employees at that point. And also, State of the Fan address, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Nick Villano and I, pucksandpitchforks.com, editor-in-chief, will be doing the podcast during the game. We don't take a preemption at all. Also, Devils After Dark, Scotty and I will recap the game that was. Hopefully, it'll be a happy Devils recap. Hopefully, the losing will stop. Hopefully, we don't have to be more patient. Hopefully, they take my advice on the reset button. Because I'll tell you what, with all this uncertainty here, all that, make it a little bit more fun for the fans and start lowering these prices at the arena. My goodness, I know you have to pay bills, but so do the fans. Compromise here. Why is it the highest beer prices in the league, according to that one survey? I don't know. Hey, that's what you do, Corbin, when you ask me to be the GM. I'll let you have it. I want to thank those visiting the podcast today. Till next time, this is the Woo Report. Let's go Devils.